So you click on this video because you want to learn how to avoid some of the common mistakes that every social media managers make, then you're at the right place. My name is Joanna. I am a social media manager and a coach. I help aspiring digital nomads become freelance social media managers so that they can work and travel from anywhere. So here's the thing, guys. When I first started out as a social media manager, I made tons of mistakes. Just like anything you do in life, when you first started out, you're bound to make a lot of mistakes. And that's okay. The most important thing is to recognize them, learn from it, move on, and try to be better next time. But if you're like, no, I don't make mistakes because I'm perfect, then sorry, this video is not for you and please leave. And other than that, let's dive right into mistake number one. All right, so mistake number one is making social media all about sale. Don't get me wrong, sale on social media works, but hard selling like this, and all of this, it's not gonna fly in social media, honey. Why? Because one, it's dry and boring, and second, you're working against the algorithm. So why is it dry and boring? Well, let's see. Your social media audience is most likely there predominantly to socialize and see what their friends and families are up to, and possibly watch some occasional cat video. So you can imagine by showing up on their feed with constant promotional posts every single day will just tick them off and cause them to unengage or even unfollow you. Not only that, you're working against the algorithm. What does that mean? Well, algorithms across all social media channels are based on the same principle, and that is to give their users the best experience so that they can stay on their platform for as long as they can. So the more low value and hard sell content that you put out there, the less your audience is going to engage with it. And that acts as feedback to the algorithm. So next time when you post something, the algorithm is going to interpret it as, that is a boring piece of content. We're going to show it to less people this time. So yeah, that's going to be a big waste of your time because your post is not going to reach. So might as well just don't post, I'm sorry. So what type of content you should create instead? Well, focus on soft selling content. So the soft selling content strategy is something that I came up with, and I go much in depth on my one-on-one coaching program with my students. But basically, it's a type of content strategy that will actually convert your audience into paid customer without them feeling like you're constantly selling to them. And the beautiful thing about this content strategy is that it takes a much softer approach, and it focuses on three main goals: building long-term relationships, cultivating trust, and nurturing the audience. So yeah, the hard sell stuff is a thing in the past. We're in 2020 and beyond. The only type of content that will actually works are the ones that can either build your tribe or your community, providing valuable educational information, nurturing them and inspiring them along the sales pipeline until they're ready to become your customers. If you want to learn more about my soft selling content strategy, be sure to click the link in my description box to learn more. Even if you don't want to do that, I don't want to force you if you don't want to. If there's one thing that you can walk away from this video, I'm hoping that it would be you're not going to do any more hard selling shit on social media, because that's not going to work, okay? The second common mistake that a lot of social media managers make is excluding brand advocates. What the heck is brand advocates, you may ask? Well, brand advocate is a group of people who could be influencers or regular customers or followers who are just genuinely in love with your products and services, and they willingly talk about it on their own social media channels. And why are they doing this? Because they're just fan of your products and services, and they wanted to share that with the people that they know. And so the type of content that are generated by this group of people is called user-generated content. And when you see this type of content, it's like a living, breathing testimonial for your brand, and you better not ignoring them. It's not hard to understand why having user-generated content is such an important part of your overall social media strategy. It acts as a social proof for your brand, because it proves to the other people that you have products and services that are worth talking about on the internet. Well, other than social proof, there are tons of other great benefits of using user-generated content, and that includes making the brand more trustworthy, increase engagement. It helps the brand build deeper and more authentic relationship with the audience. It helps reach a wider audience. It increases the brand's search engine rankings, credibility, and online visibility. So as a social media manager, if you're not utilizing user-generated content, then you're really leaving big money on the table. Moving on to mistake number 3, and that is treating all social media channels the same. This is another really common mistake made by a lot of social media managers, including myself, and is that we tend to forget to produce content that are specific to each social media channel. I'm guilty of this because sometimes it's just so tempting to copy and paste the content from one platform to another platform. It's honestly saves you so much time and brain juice, but honestly for the most part it's not worth it, so don't do it. Think of each channel like its own game. You gotta play by its rule in order to win. So by posting the same shit on all social media channels, it's not gonna get you very far. What makes a great tweet doesn't mean that it's gonna be a great Facebook or Instagram post. What makes a great Instagram post doesn't mean that it's gonna do well on LinkedIn. For example, audience demographics could be really different across a different social media channel. You might be able to get away with posting memes on Instagram, but if you're also managing the LinkedIn account, then posting the same meme on LinkedIn might not get you the highest ROI because the audience on that platform is genuinely more mature and more corporate. And don't just tell your client that you're going to post on all social media channels, because if you're trying to market to everyone, you're marketing to no one and you're wasting your client's time and your own time. But instead, trying to understand who you're targeting and where these people are spending most of their time online, and reverse engineer that part to figure out which platform to use, what to post, and what language to use. Okay, so it's getting really dark inside. That's why I'm moving my studio outside. Anyways, let's move on to the next common mistake. It's obvious, but you might be surprised, and that is not engaging with followers. The whole point of social media is for you to engage and socialize with other people. That's why it's called social media. Duh. Constantly ignoring your customers on social media leaves a really bad taste in their mouth, and it indicates poor customer service practice in place, and that's really bad for business. Engagement is what humanize your brand, and it's a step closer to converting your audience into paid customers. So imagine what your customers and potential customer will feel if you're constantly ignoring their DMs, or their messages and comments on social media. So turn on your notifications during your work hour. Obviously, like, nobody expects you to comment and reply to comments or, you know, respond to DM like 24/7. But during your work hour, just make sure that turn on your notifications and reply to DMs. Even sometimes it's like negative or positive. It's an opportunity for you to, you know, interact with your audience directly and be personable and friendly, because after all, this is what social media is all about. All right, last but not least, the fifth common mistake is incorrect use of hashtags. Trust me, a lot of social media managers, including myself, thought that we know our hashtag games, but most of the time we don't. Posting generic hashtags and hoping that it will reach the most amount of people organically, it's not gonna work. That's not how it works, okay? So the purpose of using a proper hashtag strategy is really to get your content in front of the audience that you're trying to target. So in my one-on-one coaching program, I'm gonna deep dive into a bulletproof hashtag system with you, and I'm gonna show you exactly what tools to use to help you formulate this system. But basically, to give you a gist of it, here are a couple of things that you shouldn't use in your hashtag strategy. Avoid using super generic hashtags, especially those ones with over 100 million posts, like hashtag travel, hashtag shopping. I guarantee if you use those hashtags only, your content's gonna drown in competition, and it's very unlikely to be found by your target audience. Second, avoid using hashtags that nobody's searching for. I'm talking about the ones that are less than 1,000 posts, because these hashtags brings you zero visibility. Third, avoid using banned hashtags. You might not even be aware of this, but if you use hashtags that are banned on whatever social media platforms that you're posting on, then your content will most likely be flagged as spam. Last but not least, avoid using hashtags that are not relevant to the brand. So if the company that you're managing is a restaurant, let's say, then don't use hashtags in the fashion niche. Alright guys, so these are the 5 common mistakes that you should avoid making as a social media manager. Leave a comment down below and let me know if this video is somewhat helpful. Like I said, it's okay to make some mistakes, especially at the beginning stage of your social media management career. I know I made a tons of mistakes when I was starting out, but it's okay. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it's more important that you recognize these mistakes and, you know, grow from it, learn from it, and try to be better next time. Alright, so if you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel, check out my Instagram account for more useful social media marketing tips, and I'll see you guys in my next one.